In this video, I teach you guys how to start making your own lube setters. As you may or may not know, most of this channel is about setup tutorials, which I have recently uploaded a lot of. But today, I want to teach you guys how to create your own. The first step to lubing your cube is always to clean it out. So to clean it out, you want to take out an edge piece and then take out all of the other pieces and soak it in water, or just take a paper towel and wipe it down. The next step is to identify the type. The type could be what kind of cube you're using, a 3x3, a 5x5, a 4x4, or any other puzzles you might have. And another thing to identify is how the cube feels. So is the cube very smooth, crunchy, fast? Now, depending on these types, you may want to lube each cube differently. The second step is to see what kind of cube you want to reach in the end. So some cubes, like the GAN 11M Pro, you want to stabilize, and some cubes like the RS3M, you want to make it controllable but fast. Other cubes like the Maylong, you want it to be extra smooth. And depending on these types, you might want to use different lubes. Next thing to know what each lube does. Some silicone lubes like Angstrom Gravitas and Weight 5 slow down your cube. And some lubes like Cubicle Silk and Nebula like to make your cube smoother. Then depending on what type of cube you're lubing, you can use those lubes specific. Look at how other people lube. So for example, you could take some of my videos and look at them, or you could look at other people's way of lubing their own cubes. Taking inspiration is a great way to learn how to lube your cube properly. Last thing you want to do is actually get to lubing. So when you want to lube, you want to have some sort of silicone lube, and then some kind of smoothing lube, and lastly, if you want to add this, some kind of lube to free it all up and make it fast, like Mystic. Now for example, I'm going to use my WRM, the original one, and I'm going to show you guys. First, I like to take an edge and put the silicone lube of my choice. One of my favorites, which I made a recent video about, is Gravitas. Gravitas is a very versatile lube and it's pretty cheap. So I usually take my Gravitas and my lubing utensil of choice, which is a brush, and I take a little bit and I apply it to the edge, like around the tracks and around here. And then put it back in. And between each step, I like to break in. So break in right now. After silicone lube, usually comes some smoothing lube. So my choice would be Cubicle Lab Silk. At this point, you might be satisfied with this, or it could feel a little bit gummy. If you don't have the extra money to buy some smoothing lube, then you might want to consider just breaking it in a bunch with a bunch of salt. But if you do have a lube to speed it up, then take that and just put some inside of here. And before you know it, you'll have made your first setup. When you do these steps, a lot and you do them enough and you keep practicing and experimenting with more loops, you'll get better and your cubes will feel amazing. Now, that's it for this video, guys, and go loop some cubes.